Hi guys! Have you ever put the wrong item in the wrong bin, and even though your mind has told you in the last minute, no, don't do that, you've still gone ahead and done it? I know I have. I felt guilty about it, and I guess I'm a little bit ashamed to admit it, but I have done it hands up. I've worked in the hospitality industry for 20 years, and if you work in the hospitality industry, you'll understand it's a hard-paced industry. It's exhausting, you're always busy, you're always running around. So when my mind clicked and said, don't put that bottle of water in the landfill bin, I kind of justified myself by saying, I'm up the walls, I don't have time to fix this right now. And I guess the term out of sight, out of mind, it's really appropriate in this case. You just place it in there, you'll never see it again. Everybody makes mistakes. But I guess the trick is to learn how to recognize it and to change behavior. And I guess that's why I do what I do now for the past 3 years. I'm trying to reduce waste, energy and water in hotels and restaurants around the country, just so people like me can actually do better. However much or little an individual person changes their behavior, me changing my behavior is not going to sort out the huge problem that is waste around the world. The only thing that is going to change this problem is a government level and with the right policies in place. Now, about a year ago, I attended a workshop organised by Boys Ireland. This is a fantastic company that have spent the last couple of years going around the country with ambassadors and showing people and communities how to recycle properly. And they told us the things that most of us know now, that your recycling bin needs to contain items that are only hard plastic, not soft plastics, that they need to be washed, they need to be dried, and they need to be placed loose in the bin. Now, I knew before the workshop that they need to be washed and clean. I didn't know they needed to be dried as well. I didn't know they needed to be loose in the recycling bin. So I felt a little bit cheated, to be honest. I felt I've been doing recycling all wrong for the last 10 to 15 years and nobody has said anything to me. Certainly not my waste management company that collects my waste every single week. I'm sure that is the case for 99% of the households in Ireland and possibly in other countries too. So why did nobody speak out sooner? Why didn't they tell us that we were all recycling wrong and that our recycling wasn't actually in fact being recycled at all? So where should the guilt be put in this issue? Should it be with the individual that didn't know, wasn't educated enough on how to recycle? Should it be with the waste companies that never actually told us that we were all recycling wrong and that our recycling bin was contaminated and would not be able to be recycled? Or should it be with our governments that have literally put the responsibility into the privatisation of waste management in Ireland, and they have completely forgotten about the issue that we are creating? Up until very recently, 95% of our recycling was actually shipped to China until they say no more 2 years ago. Now it's been shipped to Indonesia. But how can this be right? How can a Western world country like Ireland, with more resources than Indonesia, not deal with their own waste and instead send it away to a country that is poorer than us? Like, how do we think they are managing our own waste, and how long do we think they're going to be able to be taking our waste over there? Recycling is not the solution to our waste problem. Waste minimization is the only solution available. And I firmly believe that the very first step we need to take is to stop sending our waste and our recycling waste to other countries. We need to deal with our own waste so that we can finally create policies that will reduce that waste. Why can't we create a policy, for example, that says, anything that is a single-use item that is unrecyclable should never be made. Full stop. Just don't make it. It's like my saucy challenge and all those individually wrapped sauces. Whoever is making those products knows that that product has plastic that is going to last in the world and in the environment for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's going to be used once and that's it. It's going to be with us forever. So why, what kind of an intelligent person can make something that is just going to be left in our environment for that long? It's single use, it can never be used again, and it can never be recycled. It doesn't make any sense to me. So we need to create better policies, and we also need to take control of our own waste. Privatization hasn't worked. It has actually made the problem worse. Waste management should be on hands of the state. But I guess for the government, it's a little bit like for us, out of sight, out of mind. I'll see you next week.